Welcome to Real Quick, a series of 5-minute conversations with real founders. We'll dig into founding stories, important stops on the founder journey, and lessons we can all benefit from while growing a business. I'm Izzy, a producer and host at In the Works. In this issue, I'm talking to different founders about self-care, how they decompress, make time for themselves, and prioritize mental health in the midst of growing and running a business. On this episode of Real Quick, we talk with Naza Shelley on the impact that dating has on one's mental health. Overjoyed to be joined by Naza Shelley. Naza, start off by telling us who you are and what are you building?
Thank you so much, Izzy, for having me. Yes, I'm Naza Shelley. I am a Howard Law trained attorney, HU, and I live in Washington, D.C. area. And my team is building a dating app and matchmaking service that's specifically catering to the needs of professional Black women.
Where do you find time for self-care?
For me, I am addicted to my calendar on my phone. And so I plan my self-care, whether that's ensuring that I carve out time to go to the gym, that I have, my bi-weekly or monthly massages. And then another thing that I like to treat myself to is definitely like nails. So going and get my nails done as a time to just, I can't be on my phone, right, when my nails are getting done. And so it gives me that time to just sit back, relax, let someone, pamper me. And, also I remain presentable as possible during this pandemic era. So I really do find that you have to prioritize that self-care. And the way I do it is by, putting it on my calendar and locking it in.
So who do you talk to when you're struggling with the stress or your mental health is lacking? And why is it difficult for people to get real or vulnerable in those types of conversations?
Running a business, like anyone in their daily lives, like everyone has stressors and everyone needs a mental health outlet. And so I think that when it comes to running a startup, I probably lean too much on my co-founder, Sally. And we share, a lot of the struggles when it comes to running a startup together. And it helps that we're best friends. Something that we at CarpeDM talk about all the time and is such an important aspect of what we kind of are building is mental health. And we've really found that online dating can be a big source of mental health issues for people. And so I definitely take mental health very seriously.
Dating and self-care, do they impact one another in your opinion? And if they do or don't, like how?
Oh, of course they do. It is hard out here in these single streets. It is no walk in the park. And, I talk to singles all over the country, as well as people who are in committed and long-term relationships. Being a matchmaker, it's very important to understand like the dynamics between healthy couples and relationships, people who consider themselves opposites that are attracted, as well as understanding what singles are actually looking for. And one of the things that we hear on a consistent basis is how hard it is to date today in today's society. And so what I always like to tell people is like, if you have a good date with someone, it might not be an amazing date, but it was a good date, like go on a second date, right? But I feel like in our culture today, if that date isn't knocking you off your feet on the first date and you're not seeing, hearts and feeling butterflies, then you don't give someone a second chance. And I don't think that that's particularly healthy. And I think it's kind of feeding into this loop, right, where people are unable to find and enter into the committed relationships that they really, really want. And it all just messes with your head, right? Like, should I commit? What's wrong with me, right? That I'm not getting more likes or I'm not getting more dates, or why did this person ghost me, right? Why is this acceptable behavior in today's culture? I mean, all of these things I think play into the psychology behind like why people are finding it harder and harder to date. And people need to take self-care. I think I'm an advocate of, turning off dating apps if you need a break from dating, right? I'm an advocate of being real with people when you're on dating apps, within certain bounds. And all of that I think can improve your overall dating experience. So there's definitely a connection between online dating and self-care.
Real quick, what are 3 things you do to decompress?
Work out, sleep/binge watch TV, and massages and nail care.
Real quick, what advice would you give to a new founder?
Prepare for the struggle.
Real quick, how can someone get involved with CarpeDM?
Definitely, if you are looking for love and you'd want to join our community, go to our website, CarpeDMdating.com, and sign up. And then if you just want to talk to me, founder to founder, friend to friend, person to person, human to human, then message me on IG at CarpeDMBoss.
Thanks for listening to Real Quick. In this issue, I interview 5 different founders on self-care. Check out the rest of the episodes in this issue of In the Works.